Argentina, where the polls had predicted a comfortable win for the ruling party's candidate yesterday, 40 million Argentines took part in an obligatory poll with the chosen successor of Cristina Fernandez looking like something of a shoo-in. The only question appeared to be whether Daniel Scioli would win outright or whether a runoff would be necessary. In the end, a runoff is take place, but with his immediate challenger, Maurizio Macri, doing much better than expected. Indeed, coming within 2 points of the front runner. For more on the story, I'm joined by Camille Lavoix, who's a journalist and author of Argentine, le tango des ambitions. Now, it's a book written in French, but only just published, and so which should yet be published, translated into English. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. This was not what the polls had predicted, first of all.
No, the truth is it was almost a boring election. Everyone was saying it, and this comes as a big surprise. It is a huge surprise because we thought there would be no second round. We thought Scioli was going to be elected, and he already said who is going to be my minister, and it was all planned. And
what do you think went wrong?
There is something. There was a big debate organized a few weeks ago, and it was the first debate in Argentina. For some reason, there was never debate before, and it was very important. And a few days before, Scioli said, well, I won't go in the end. And this came as a big surprise, and a lot of Argentinians were angry, I think, because they really needed a debate. And just an hour ago, Scioli now said, oh, all right, I'll have a debate with Macri. So I think this was a big change, maybe.
And a big mistake on his part.
Yeah, a big mistake, yeah.
Does it signal also a more profound dissatisfaction with the previous government? Are there more Argentines than perhaps the polls had predicted who want to see change in the country now, and why?
Yes, as a matter of fact, the name of Macri party is Let's Change, so it's pretty clear. There was no big discussion about the policies. It was all about continuity for Scioli and change for Macri. So I think the message is really clear. People are quite fed up with corruption. To start with, I think the Nisman case, recently was also didn't help the president.
This was the prosecutor found dead just before he was to announce the investigation into a probe that went back years and that involved the Kirchner government.
Exactly, and I think the way they managed the crisis, the way the president handled the crisis, wasn't that good because everyone went against her, and she even had an American journalist, and they did an interview, and she was very. She wasn't even polite to him. I mean, she was quite rude and patronizing. She would say, "Oh, please, do your hair like that?" And I think the people were just fed up. They just wanted serious answers.
Now, one of Cristina Fernandez's aims, and indeed the aim of the government that had preceded her, was to bring normality, a sense of normality, back to Argentinian politics, to the Argentinian economy. Is that, on that front, something she succeeded in doing?
Yes, I think so, because, democracy is something quite recent in Argentina. So as a start, she managed to stay in place, and she had very violent attacks. She's not very nice to the medias, but the medias are really harsh on her, and she resisted pretty much everything. So I think there is some stability, but I wouldn't say normality. I don't think Argentina is normal right now because, you have an illegal dollar change. You have you cannot import many products. So it's not a normal situation.
Well, but on that question, assuming that the polls continue to go against Scioli and that we move towards a Macri victory, what is that likely to mean for Argentina's economy particularly?
Well, he said that immediately after he's elected, he would reestablish the normal currency change, because right now in Argentina you cannot go to your bank, give pesos and get dollars or euros. It's just impossible to do that legally. So you do that illegally. Everyone knows it, knows which street is it, but
it's still done.
It's still done. So the first thing he's going to do is reestablish a normal currency change, and then the second one, he wants to negotiate with for Argentina's debt. So with the American court, and So hopefully, if he does that, Argentina could go back to the financial market and attract investors again.
Looking ahead then to the final vote, it comes on November 22nd. The ruling party was quite divided during the first round of the election. That's not likely to be the case, obviously, in the second, since they'll only be facing Macri. What's your prediction?
Yeah, I think actually they're divided. It's surprising because, you know, there is this youth movement called La Campora, which is a movement, the son of Cristina Kirchner, the son of the president, is the leader of that movement. And this movement really is not against Scioli, but they don't like each other. So they don't give their support. I mean, yesterday they didn't
Even without
come.
an alternative candidate representing their side?
We will see if that changed. But yesterday they didn't come to they were all reunited in one place, in one stadium, and they didn't come. And the president neither. So let's see if that changed. But right now they didn't send any message. So we'll see tomorrow, the next few days.
All to play for. Camille Lavoix, thank you very much indeed for having come in and talked to us then about the Argentine election, which goes into a runoff. Next part, November 22nd, when 40 million Argentines will go back to the polls to see who they prefer.